This video has the potential to be a long one. I'm talking to the women today, and I want to give you guys a better way, if you will, or strategy, I should say, to go about life. The reason why I'm doing this is because I see a ton of women screaming and shouting, "Where are all the good men?" And this was inspired by a comment that I just finished responding to. On a McGavin video, a young woman or middle-aged woman, I can't really tell, I don't know her age, but she commented on this video because the title of this video I think has something to do with single women are not happy or some shit like that, which kind of weirds me out when I see a person saying, well, I am the exception of the rule, and I'm going to comment and I'm going to show and prove that I am actually happy. I have a problem with that because when do you ever see a person in their 40s that have a full head of hair researching how to stop male pattern baldness? You don't see that because they don't have a problem with male pattern baldness. And yet this person is running around looking at videos saying, hey, I'm happy. So anyway, I just... sometimes I just don't believe the ones that say they're exception to rule are actually in fact the exception to rule. But anyway, so let's finish up and get to the meat and potatoes of this video. The way I gather it is women are choosing life backwards, right? They're choosing to go to school, get an education, search for a high-powered career, go after that career. Then in their 30s, early 30s, mid 30s, start to look for settling down. The reason why I think this don't work is because it doesn't. Statistically show that most women who find themselves in their 30s have a damn hard time finding men who's willing to pair up with them for several reasons. One, you're older, all right? It's just biology, it's just nature against you. Once a woman is older, she runs the risk of having higher risk children with some type of deformity mentally or even physically. She's getting closer and closer to her end of her fertility state, and she starts to break down physically. Her body she starts to look older. She gets the bags. She starts, getting fatter, even though she's eating the same stuff that she's been eating all her life and all kinds of stuff. So there's a whole lot of reasons why nature puts you out of the game, okay? And men don't really want that. We don't. Like, okay, so when you have a woman that's in her 30s looking for a man, chances are that man is either married, divorced, or still chasing 20-year-olds. And the other men that are not in one of those three categories, they don't stack up to even be considered as a mate for you, because you have high expectations. Your requirements are so high that he can't even measure up long enough to even get to that next level where y'all might even start considering getting married. Now, yes, you do have women that do this, but they're so far in between that it's irrelevant to even mention. So what I think you should do is I think you should choose to look for your mate in your 20s. And not just any guy that's in your age bracket, because that's a bad idea as well. You're both trying to find yourself. You both don't know what life has to offer. And most likely, y'all going to wind up in divorce anyway, because as y'all get older together, y'all grow apart. Things that used to satisfy you in your 20s no longer satisfy you in your 30s. And same thing for him. Things that he didn't have access to in his 20s, he now has access to in his 30s. So this is the reason why getting married in your early 20s or even getting with somebody in your 20s is a bad idea, because you do not know what you're going to become in your 30s or what that person is going to become in your 30s. So for a woman to get married in her 20s with a man who is in his 20s, that spells disaster. However, a 20-year-old woman getting married to a 30-year-old, late 30, 40-year-old man, that right there works far better. Here's why. One, the man that you're marrying already had his fill of 20-year-olds. If he's dating you, more than likely he knows how to pick up 20-year-olds. He has the qualifications, he has the money, he has the status, he has everything that is needed to pick up a 20-year-old in his 40s. So clearly, he's well experienced with 20-year-olds. Second, he can grow with you versus a man growing apart from you. You follow me? He already knows what he wants in life. He already knows what he's looking for. He already has a great idea on how to navigate, because he's gotten to a certain age where he's done it all. He already done it. So watching you go through the things that you're going to experience in your early 20s, in your mid 20s, in your early 30s, he's already seen that a few times already. So he can help you get through that. Whereas your husband, who's your exact same age, he's never seen this before. So he doesn't know what you're going through. He doesn't know how to accommodate you. And that brings a lot of strife within the relationship. All right? So, if you marry a man in his 40s, he's going to be able to help you through all that. And he'll have the I wouldn't say humbleness. What is it? I don't want to say go with all either. It's kind of a mis way to say that word. What am I trying to say? He will have the patience. There you go. He will have the patience to work with you through that. And third, he's ready to settle down, which is the most important part. You see, a man in his 20s is not ready to settle down. Even though he may think he is, he isn't. The reason why he thinks he is because he thinks this is the best it's going to get. He doesn't see that the harder he works and the more he works and the longer he works, the better his outcome becomes. He doesn't see that yet. He's still stuck in that phase that, Dad, I can't get no pussy. I can't get no pussy. No matter how hard I try, I say hi, I'm attractive, I got a nice build, but I can't get no pussy. And when he finally gets with you, he's like, I got all the pussy I want. I only need one girl. Let's get married. When he gets to his 40s, he's not only going to know how to get pussy, he'll have the finances to do so. So when he gets in his 40s, he's going to be looking at you in your 40s saying, damn, you old. And I know I can get Christina, who's only 23 years old, and she's perfect breasts, perfect everything. You know, I can get her, you know. So you're going to have problems with this guy because he's never had his fill with women. You're going to have a problem. Trust me, I know. Okay? And that's where most of the issues come up when you're dealing with a man who now has means that he didn't have when y'all first met. Okay? You're not going to be a spring chicken anymore. You're going to be saggy. You're going to be floppy. You're probably going to have ailments, physical ailments. You may not want to have sex as much as you used to, and so many issues. Because his sexual drive hasn't changed. It's still there. It's just he can't because he's married and you're not giving it to him. Now, one of the biggest issues that I hear is, well, what if this man decides he want to trade up? You know what? I'll get to that in a minute. Let me go to the next level. Now that you found a man who is ready to settle down, he's done all his playing around, he's established himself, he has the credentials, he has the resources to accommodate you, and he's in his late 30s, early 40s, and you're still in your 20s. Now, you can start having your children because he's ready to have kids, right? And y'all still have time to enjoy each other before y'all finally have kids. 5-6 years in the first part of the marriage, and then you say, all right, let's have kids. Now you're 28, 29 years old, you're ready to have children, you start having your kids, okay? Your kids come. You're happy. Your mom, you did the mommy thing. He's daddy. He's happy. He's doing the daddy thing. And now he will be able, not only will he be financially able, but he'll be willing to send you to school. If you do decide you still want to chase in a career and you want to see what that's all about, he has the ability to do so. You don't have to take out all these crazy student loans and have this ridiculous debt after you come out of school with nothing to show for it other than this piece of paper, and now you got to go out there and fight to get a job, right? If you're married to a man that's well established, that's got everything he needs put together, and you find this guy, which again, it's not that easy. I'm not saying this is perfect, but you find this guy and he's well established financially, mentally, emotionally, whatever. He can help you with the kids because he has the money to do so. When you're in school, he can have the kids being, whatever. I mean, most of you guys wind up putting your kids in school anyway, so. I mean, putting them in daycare or whatever, so what's the difference here? At least this time you have somebody that's going to able to flip the bill for you. So when you do chase that career, you don't have to take a middle-end job until you get to your end job. You follow me? You don't have to take a secretary position while you're looking for your high power position. You can stay home with your children while you're looking for that job or that career until you get hired. And once you get hired, you can sit and pick and choose what company you really want to work with. You see the difference between having somebody that has your back versus having to do it all by yourself? It's completely different. This man will be willing to do all that for you because you gave him his children. You gave him the ability to be dad. So he's going to do that. It's in our nature to do so. So he's going to do that. So now you're chasing your career. Your kids are in their teens and stuff like that. You're chasing your career. You're in your early 40s and you're ready to rock and roll, right? Your man is now in his 50s, maybe even 60s. He's slowing down. He's about to retire. Guess what? Babysitter. He can take care of his boys and his children and grow up with them in their later part of their years. While he's in his 60s, he's doing all this great stuff with his teens. And you're now out chasing your career. So you've gotten the whole package. If you do it this way, you've gotten the whole package. Now again, this sounds perfect but life isn't perfect. But this is a way better strategy than what people are doing currently. Both getting together in their 30s and getting together in their 20s, and wind up in divorce in their 30s. Or trying to find a man in your 30s competing with 20-year-olds. It's just a stupid strategy. So back to what I was saying about the fears. A lot of women have this fear, but what if he's interested in 20-year-olds, what happens if I just become old to him? What happens? Because I'm afraid that he might trade me up. Okay, let's start with the fact that he doesn't have enough money to trade you up. Yeah, he's well established, but he's not a billionaire. Okay, it's very costly to trade up. Not only do you have to have enough money to give your ex-wife, but you have to have enough money to sustain the new wife. That's a lot of paper. That's number one. The second biggest problem with doing that, or whatever, is if you do finally trade up and you finally get that 20-year-old, what's going to happen if you find out that she is all about your money? Because if you have enough money to do that, chances are you're getting bougie women. It doesn't really work for him. Now, why I don't think you should care about this or fear this is because you're already 10, 15, 20 years younger than him. By the time he starts noticing you're getting old, he'll be in his 60s. He don't care. He'll be in his 60s. He's happy with his life choices. He's not trying to get a 20-year-old in no damn 60s. He's not. Most men they're not interested in going backwards and starting that shit all over again. He already got you where he wants you. He already got you doing things that he wants you to do. I mean, he's got you pretty much trained to accommodate him, and vice versa, obviously. So, the real reason why that shit happened is because the man that you married in your 20s, who was also in his 20s, figured out he can have more in his 40s. And he's watched you get old. You got old with him. And women age faster than men. They just do. We die sooner, but you guys age faster. So he watched you get old. He watched the bags go under your eyes. He watched you gain the 20 pounds. He watched you have aches and pains. He watched your perfect boobs sag. He watched you from the perfect skin to all stretch marks. He watched all that. And now he's in his 40s with you. And he can reach back and get another 20-year-old that's perfectly plump. Perfect breast, skin, waistline, tight ass. He can get that because he has the finances to do so. That's why men trade it up. He's not going to do that if you're 40 and he's 60. He's not going to do that. First of all, even if he tried, he can only get a bimbo. He can't get nobody with substance. So he might cheat on you. I'm not saying he won't cheat on you, but he won't leave you. It's too risky. So you don't have to worry about that. Now, for all the men out there wondering, I'm going to do a part 2 for you guys, but I do want to say this, who's the ones that are actually watching this video, which I don't know why you will be watching this video, but you probably will. Let me just say this real quick. If you're fearful of your wife cheating on you while she's in college, think about this. By the time she goes to college, she'll be in her late 30s, maybe even early 40s, if she chooses this path. You'll be in your late 50s, early 60s. Believe me, you won't care. Because you know, even though she might be getting some young wood, she coming home to you. Do you understand that? She's not leaving you for some dude that just got into college. What the fuck can he offer her other than some hard rock? That's it. He can't offer her shit else. She's coming home. She will not leave you. Besides, her getting some side tail don't mean shit. She's well established. She's mentally and physically able to handle having sex with a young soldier, versus in her 20s where she'll go caca Google for cocoa Google what was it cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over this young wood dick. That's the problem. But in her 40s, she's not gonna have an issue. She'll be able to have sex with as many men as she wants and still come home and give you what she needs to give you. Because she's bonded to you. You won't have to worry about that. And more than likely, she won't do it anyway. She's too focused on other things. And yes, women do go rogue. It is what it is. But you won't care. You really wouldn't care. You're not going to care. You're 60 years old. What the hell you care? Worrying about her screwing some young dude for? You won't care. The only time you care about that is if you're in your early 40s. If you're still in your 40s, you might care that she's getting some young wood because, you know, she's probably at the age where she still can trade you up and take whatever you have left. But if you was with her when she was in her 20s, she ain't going nowhere. Statistically, it's proven women don't leave at that age. When they leave men that's on their level, that's when women leave. Women leave men that are on their level. If you're 60 and you got 2.3 million in the bank, she ain't leaving you for some young soldier. She's not. That just don't happen. Unless you done did a whole lot of horrific shit in your marriage. Then that's a different story. But she ain't about to leave you. She'll fuck him, but she won't leave him. So that's my take on this. Is what I think you should do. I think women should really switch it. If you want a career and you want to do all that stuff, you should do that in your late 30s after you've had your children and you found a man that's able and willing to assist you in doing that. And you should ask them these questions as well. You should put that up in the forefront. Look, I want to have children. I want to get married, but I might want to have a career in the future. Not saying that I will, but I might. And I'm asking, are you willing to assist me in that after we've had our children? If he's saying, I am willing to do so like that, because again, he's in his 40s, he's probably prepared for these questions anyway. He's going to say, yeah, that. I have no problem with that. Financially, I have no problem with it. Emotionally, mentally, I won't have a problem with it either. Because he'll be able to do those things. I'm slowing down. I'll be about 55, 60. I'll be slowing down anyway. So I wouldn't care. You should even have these questions. And believe me, if you try that shit with a 20-year-old, he's going to look at you like, well, how are you going to figure that one? It's not going to work. Because he don't see that far. He can't even see how he's going to pay his freaking car note right now. So he can't even fathom paying your freaking college bills when he's in his late 50s and have kids. He can't even fathom that. But a man that's making $150,000 a year and he's in his 40s, he can see that because he knows he's not going to do nothing but go up. So there's my suggestion. Try it out. I mean, I think that'll be a better way than what you got, because what you're doing now ain't working. You got too many women complaining that there's no good men by the time they get out of college and chase their career. There's a reason for that. All right, that's my video.